Hello, welcome to this tutorial of the Elementi software. In this video, I'll be showing you some of the new widgets that come with the latest version of Elementi, version 3.1. We're going to be going over the charts and the gauges in this video, and you can find these all in the Library tab of the Browse panel. So to begin, I'm going to create a new project very quickly, and a new background. I'll just make it white so we can see them better. And when we go into the charts folder, the charts all have a different aesthetic look to them, but they all basically grab the data the same way. So I'm just going to use the bar.svg to show the capabilities of the charts, and then double click the bar.svg, and by default it's pointing to a CSV file that Spinetics has on their download.spinetics.com address. So I'm going to change this to a CSV file that is living on my Dropbox. There we go. Once I click OK, you should see the chart change, which it has. And the numbers that it's taking are based on this CSV file, which is that CSV file that's on my Dropbox. The series corresponds to the column in your CSV file that you want to show. So in this case, it's showing the numbers in this column, with the label that is associated here with these letters up here, the y-axis labels right here, the y-axis A, B, C, D, E, F. So if we correspond these labels to the numbers that they're supposed to represent, A is 100, which that looks right. B is 150, that looks right. 175, 225, 275, and 375. If I wanted to change the column that I wanted to display the information of, I would just change this series from item 3 to, from item 4 to item 3. And 50, 100, yep, that looks right. And then I could change it to item 2 if I wanted to as well. We're going to ignore item 1 until we get to gauges. You can then, if you want to, put some text inside the bar. This is text. And that will show that text inside each of the bars. You can also put text beside the bars. This is also text. And of course you can format them by highlighting the text and selecting the font size, font type, font size, bold, italicize, and color, just like any other place that you can edit text within Elementi. And then if you want, you can change the color of the bars, which I'm doing right now. And that is way too bright for my eyes, so I'll change it back. There we go. So that is the bars within Elementi, and like I said, they all have the same functionality. The widgets look the same. It's just a matter of how you want it to look. Now I'm going to go back to my index. Let's get rid of the bar.svg, and let's talk about the gauges. So we go into the gauges folder, and just like the charts, these all work the same. They just have different looks to them. And I'm going to use the LED vertical.svg. I like this one the most. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. When I open this one up, it's also pointing to a CSV file. So I'm actually going to make this the exact same CSV file that we have open currently in our Dropbox. And the series is currently set to item 1. And in my same CSV file, my item 1 only has one number. Now the big difference between the charts and the gauges is that the charts can display multiple numbers represented by multiple bars. The gauges simply show one number per column. So if I were to put any other numbers below this 25, it would actually not populate at all. I would have to create a separate column for each separate gauge that I wanted to use. The text is also based on item 1. As you see 25 here. You can set a minimum and maximum that you want your gauge to go up. A bar width, so if I set this to 200, I accidentally set it incorrectly, pardon me. Alright, 50. So I'll take it back to 50. And then the number of LEDs. So I actually want 100 LEDs for 100 numbers. Maybe not that. Let's do 50. That looks better. You can change the back color here and the animation duration for how long the animation lasts. So if I set it to 2 seconds, it then takes 2 seconds to fill up all the LEDs that are relevant. So I'll change it back to milliseconds. And then this other tab, the thresholds tab, this essentially changes the fill of the LEDs based on thresholds that you set here. So currently, the thresholds are 0 to 29 for green, 30 to 59 for yellow orangish, and 60 and above for red. So if I were to change this down to, let's make it 20, the LED will now be yellow once it reaches that 20 threshold. Let me see if I can quickly change this up to, let's change this value to 80. And save. Yes. Alright, and let's reopen this file. There we go. So now that it's crossed the 60 threshold, all the LEDs above 60 are now red. And if you want to, you can double click these to change the colors of the fills of each of these LEDs if you'd like. And the other gauges also have threshold tabs here that you can change the thresholds for those. So that's how you can use the graphs and gauges within Elementi. They are great visual representations of how to display data within Elementi. And thank you for watching this video.